Well, the latest data shows headline inflation at 9.9% year over year, which jumped significantly after they removed the electricity price cap and increased VAT rates.
That's quite high. How is this affecting everyday Romanians?
It's hitting them hard, especially young people. Romania now has the highest youth unemployment rate in the EU at 26.3%.
Wait, higher than countries like Spain and Greece?
Exactly. They've actually surpassed both countries which have historically struggled with youth unemployment. Spain is at 25.2% and Greece at 22.5%.
That's concerning. But I've heard there's some positive news in terms of reforms.
Yes, the government has actually introduced a reform package for 2025-26 that includes significant tax reforms and spending adjustments.
How are people responding to these reforms?
Well, there's significant pushback. The government is facing public sector strikes and strong opposition to the spending cuts.
But they're pushing ahead anyway?
They have to. The IMF has made it clear that these reforms are critical to restore fiscal and macroeconomic sustainability.
Let's talk about some bright spots. I understand there are some interesting developments in energy.
Yes, actually. Romania is making significant strides in renewable energy. According to recent data, renewables now lead their electricity mix with a 42.4% share.
That's impressive.
And what's particularly interesting is that 42% of energy investments are now going to renewable projects.
So despite all the challenges, there's still progress being made?
Absolutely. They're also working on nuclear development, with plans to add 2 new units to their Chernovoda facility by 2030-31.
What impact would that have?
It's expected to reduce CO2 emissions by 20 million tons per year, which is quite significant.
Let's talk about the business environment. How are investors responding to all this uncertainty?
Despite the challenges, there's still significant interest. Over 1,700 companies with Romanian capital are actively investing and creating jobs.
That's surprising given all the uncertainty.
Well, investors see the long-term potential. Romania has substantial EU funding available and strong structural advantages like its IT sector growth.
Speaking of IT, isn't there an interesting connection with the youth unemployment situation?
Yes, that's one of the paradoxes. Despite having the EU's highest youth unemployment, Romania has a thriving IT sector that's actually struggling to find enough workers.
How do we explain that disconnect?
It really comes down to skills mismatch. The education system isn't fully aligned with market needs.
Are there any efforts to address this?
Yes, there's increasing focus on technical and vocational education, though progress is slower than needed.
Let's talk about the political outlook. What happens next?
The government is facing multiple no-confidence votes over their deficit-lowering reforms. While they're likely to survive, it shows